So you are missing Ashok sir, is it? Okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So only 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 5, 6 videos are on, is it? Rest of them not interested? Yeah. Rest of them are not interested in the class, is it? Want to be busy sleeping there? Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so today no story class. Yeah. So today one more session on yoga. Does everybody remember what is yoga? Yes. Who can tell me what is yoga? Put it on the chat box. Let me see how many of you remember. Let me see how many of you remember. What is the meaning of yoga? No? Nobody remembers? Yes? Lokin is like, God knows what is yoga? Huh? It is a mind-body practice, the way to get moksha. Okay. Yoga is a way to get connected with the Lord. You remember booking a ticket to going back to Bhagavad Dham? Yes. So our building up our connection with the Lord. So that is called yoga. So there are 3 ways to reach the Lord, right? Does anybody remember what are the 3 ways? Yes. What are the 3 ways to reach the Lord? Does anybody remember? We did it last week, right? 2 ways we did last week, and today we were supposed to do the third one. Yes, one is Karma Yoga. What is the next one? What is the second one? What is the second one? Yes, very good. Dhyan Yoga. First one is Karma Yoga. Second one is Dhyan Yoga. And what is the third one that we're going to be doing today?
Dharma Yoga. Dharma
Bhakti Yoga.
Bhakti
Yes.
Yoga.
But it is not Dharma Yoga. Okay, it is not Dharma Yoga. It is Dhyan Yoga. Dhyan. Dhyan means concentration. Okay. Then, okay, we had in Karma Yoga, there were again 3 types, right? So does anybody remember all of that? Under Karma
Next,
Yoga, again, yes, tell me.
Karma Kand,
Hmm?
Samma Karma, and Nishkam Karma.
Okay, it's Sakam. Okay, Sakam
Sakam,
Yoga. Sakam.
Sakam Karma.
Yes, and the last one is Nishkam.
Nishkam Karma.
Yes, so these were the 3 types of karma there. Karma kand is something that we do as per the scriptures, right? Like yajna. Like we have yajna, we do that as per the scriptures to attain certain um, purpose out of that, right? And sakam karma is something where we are doing as a devotional service, but we want to enjoy the fruits of it, right? And the last one was Nishkam Karma Yoga. Nishkam means something that we are doing as a devotional service, but we do not expect anything out of it. Right? We just leave it to the Lord because the Lord has so many things that He has to see before He gives us any result out of that, right? So we are not depending on the result. We are only doing our best and giving our devotional and loving service to the Lord. Right? Then the next one was Dhyan Yoga. Again, in Dhyan Yoga, how many? Dhyan Yoga is also given another name. Can anybody tell me what is the other name? What is the other name of Dhyan Yoga? Does anybody remember? Yes, it had 8 steps. Very good. Ashtanga
Ashtanga.
Yoga. Yes, Ashta means 8, right? So it had 8 parts to the yoga. Correct? Yes, there were yam, niyam. Yes, do you remember? We are hardly reaching the niyama, right? Niyama is a rule which we follow every day. There's still a long, long way for us to go on that yoga, right? So today is what, Monday, right? Actually, on the weekend, we all decided to meet in the forest. Do you remember, in the mountains? Yeah, nobody turned up on the mountain at all. I was waiting, waiting, waiting. Nobody came there. Why did nobody come there? Yeah. Then I came back. I said, no, I have to pull everybody and take everyone to the mountain, right? Only then we can do Dhyan Yoga, correct? Okay. So Dhyan Yoga is not possible because we cannot go to the mountain, we cannot go to the forest, right? Then what do we do? And the first one was Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means completely giving your whatever work you do, completely dedicating it to the Lord. So every time, every work, everything that you think, every thought, everything has to be dedicated to the Lord. That again is difficult for human beings, right? We think of ice cream, chocolate, picnic, TV, phone, this, that. So many things we think about and we want to do so much. It's not possible for us to think about the Lord 24 hours, right? Yes, Anmay, am I kidding? Huh? Okay. So what happens here? These two ways of reaching the Lord, getting connected with the Lord, is not possible for us as human beings that we are in today's world, right? Because we think about so many things, which is so much of a distraction in our life. Then that is why we have the third yoga, correct? That is the Bhakti Yoga. So last time we discussed that doing Bhakti Yoga would have been the easiest way. Now let's see how it is the easiest way. Okay, so what does Bhakti Yoga mean? And we have Ashtanga Yoga here, 8 steps to reach the Lord, one by one, right? So similarly, even Bhakti Yoga has few steps to it. There are 9 of them. Okay, so that is why it is also called as Nav. Nav means 9, right? So it is Navada Bhakti Yoga. 1 minute, let me see where it is. Okay, so here is the screen that we have about Bhakti Yoga. Yes, in early yugas, people could attain God in Dhyan Yoga. Yes, because that determination that was very strong, the distraction was not there so much like how it is now. So things were very, very different at that time, right? But today, we have lots and lots of distraction in our life, lots of it in what we think, in what we eat, in what we do. Everything has got distractions in every way. Then, what is it that one thing that we can do to reach the Lord? Do you remember what is that one way? What is that one way which Prabhupada had told us to do? Yes? Do you remember discussing? What did he ask us to do? Yes? Does anyone remember? Chanting. Yes. Japamala. Very good. So, chanting is the one way, chanting the Mahamantra is one way of reaching the Lord in today's world, which will be the easiest one for us. Right? Okay, so this is what is Bhakti Yoga all about. It is Bhakti Yoga or it is Bhakti Marg. It is a way in which we can reach the Lord, right? So the path is also called as Marg. So Bhakti Yoga or Bhakti Marg. And why do we use this way? Why do we use this path? To get connected with the Lord. Correct? Now, when we love somebody, what do? We want to meet that person. We want to talk to that person. We want to cook something for that person, what they like. We want to wear. We want to purchase something for the other person, what they like. So we want to do so many things for that person. We constantly thinking about them all the time, right? Like a mother is thinking about the child all the time. Okay, my child doesn't like this, so let me not make this. My child likes this, so I will cook this for him. I have to get him uniform. He has to go to school. His fees is this, that, this. Continuously, she's thinking about the child, right? So, in that way, when we love somebody, we are all the time thinking about the Lord, correct? Now, here there are certain ways in how we can get connected with the Lord. The first step here would be this one. It says Shravanam. Shravanam means what? Hearing. Hmm. Shravanam means hearing or listening. And what do we listen to? What do we listen to? When we are doing mala, when we are doing the japamala, what do? We listen to the Mahamantra when we are saying it. Right? We are saying it with our mouth, but we say it loud enough that we hear it with our ears. So indirectly, we are listening to the Lord's name also when we are doing the japamala. Correct. And also, now you are attending this class. Yes. So you are listening about stories about the Lord. You're listening about His glories. You're listening how to get connected with the Lord. So you're getting ready to book the ticket to go to Him, right? Yes. So this will be the first step. When we are new in bhakti, we don't know how to start. Then how do we start? We start by listening. है ना? The more we listen, the more we hear about the Lord, the more we start getting interested in that, right? There's an example of Parikshit Maharaj. What does Parikshit Maharaj do? He's a grandson of Arjun. Okay, so what does Parikshit Maharaj do? He listens to the Bhagavatam. Okay, he listens to the Bhagavatam during his last days. So that is Shravanam for him, something that he hears. He is also a very, very great devotee of the Lord. Okay, then we have the second step as Kirtanam. Now, why do we have Kirtanam as the next step? Because Kirtanam includes not only singing songs, okay, it also includes doing mala. Can you see the picture? It says Japamala there. It shows a Japamala there. Yes. So even when we are doing Japamala, when we are doing that, it also means Kirtanam. Hmm. Not only singing songs. Singing songs also is a part of that. Okay. So who is the best example of that? Narad Muni. Narad Muni always keeps saying, right? Narayan, Narayan. He's always doing that, right? So he's all the time doing what? Kirtanam. Hmm. Then Sukhdev Goswami. He's the one who told the Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So one is doing Shravanam and one is doing Kirtanam, right? Okay. Then we have the next one, that is Smaranam. Smaranam means to remember. Okay, how do we do? We remember the Lord all the time. Do you see in the picture who is there? Lord Ram is there in the picture, right? So what is he doing there? He's sitting with Shabari there. He is eating the fruits that she is giving him. Correct? So what happens here? She before he comes to meet her, she keeps thinking about him all the time. Huh? Ram will come, he will come, he'll come, and she keeps decorating. She stays in a hut. She lives in a hut, and she's decorating the place around the hut. She cleans her hut all the time. So she's all the time thinking and waiting for the Lord, right? So she is also a great devotee of Ram. And what did Prahlad Maharaj do? He kept chanting. Can anyone tell me what was the shloka that he used to say? Yes? Put it in the chat box quickly and tell me what did Prahlad Maharaj say all the time? What is the chanting mantra that he used to use? Does anybody remember? Yes? No? Not getting any answers? Yes. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. Huh? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Correct? Very good. I like it. So you remember, huh? You haven't forgotten everything. Okay. Then the next one is, yeah. Who's speaking? Did anyone say anything?
Yes, ma'am. Someone told.
Yes. Okay, let's continue. Then the fourth one is Pada Sevanam. Pada means feet. So what does it show in this picture here? It shows that the Lord is sleeping there. And he's lying down there. And who is at his feet? She is Lakshmi Devi. What is Lakshmi Devi doing? She is pressing the feet of the Lord, right? You can see that in the picture. So is it possible for us to go and meet the Lord and press his feet there? Yeah, and come back? It's not possible for us to do that. Then what do? We offer flowers or tulsi and put it at the Lord's feet. That is the only way we can um, virtually touch his feet, right? In reality, we cannot touch his feet, but virtually we can touch his feet. Where there's a statue of the Lord, we can go touch his feet. We can offer fruits. We can offer flowers there or tulsi, and that is how we can do Pada Sevanam.
Excuse me,
Okay. Yes, beta.
ma'am. Why does Goddess Lakshmi press the feet of Lord Vishnu?
She is his wife, right? So a wife does the Lord's seva. Lakshmi Devi is also a great devotee of the Lord. She also wants to do seva of the Lord.
But ma'am, she's also a goddess.
She is also a goddess. But who is the supreme? Supreme is only one, right? Vishnu, nobody else, right? Everybody else has come from the Lord, correct? So even Lakshmi Devi is a part of the Lord. So she also is always dedicated to his service. She's always in service there to the Lord. Uh, okay, that was the example of goddess Lakshmi Devi for Padasevanam. Okay, then
Yes.
then the, sorry, is anyone saying something? No?
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes?
Um, uh, those who have any doubt, please note down them. Doubts will be taken after the session. Please be on mute.
Okay, you can put your doubts in the chat box. So as and when I read and whenever it is possible, I will answer to that. Okay. And otherwise, we'll take it at the end of the session as usual. Okay. All right. Then the next one, the fifth step. Then how we go slowly advancing in devotional service. Then the next one is Archana. What do we mean by Archana? We are doing puja, right? We do puja every day. We do aarti every day in front of the Lord, right? So that is a part of Archana. So who is the example of that? Prithu Maharaj. He used to do a lot of yagyas he used to conduct. So in devotional service, Archana or puja is also an important part. Okay. So only when we believe in the Lord, we are going to do one by one of these. First thing what we will do? We will do is Shravanam, right? We start from there and we start going one by one. Then we have Vandanam. In Vandanam, what do we do? Vandanam means praying, right? Vandanam means to pray. And what do we do in pray? We say shlokas. We chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we do all of that. Then there is Akrur Maharaj. Okay. Akrura was a relative of Krishna. He also was a great devotee of Krishna. Can you see in the picture there behind? The second picture in the middle, it shows that there are feet of Lord Krishna there on the ground. Yeah. So Akrurji is looking at it and he is all shocked and astonished, right? That he is able to see the feet of the Lord there. He takes a dip in the river and he sees the expanded form of the Lord inside the water. He comes out again and he thinks, no, 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 maybe I did not see something right. Again, he takes a dip inside and he sees, again, he sees the Lord there. Again, he comes out, he doesn't see anybody. So, like that, he is able to see the Lord. He was such a great devotee of Krishna there. So, he also is to pray to the Lord. Then we have Dasyam. Dasya, who's Dasa? Who is Das? Das means servant, right? So who is the one person who was an example of Dasya? It is Hanumanji. Hmm. So what did Hanumanji do? Um, when it was time for everybody to do seva to the to Lord Ram, everyone took their part of the seva, and they did not give anything to Hanumanji. Then what did Hanumanji do? He said, "Okay, I have one seva for myself. Can I do it?" Then Lakshman and Sita and everybody were like, okay, so is there something that we really left for him also? I don't think so. I'm sure that we shared all the sevas among ourselves, right? So they say, okay, fine, go ahead, do what you want to do. Then what does Hanumanji do? When the Lord is yawning, you know what is yawning, right? You open your mouth wide open and you yawn. What do people generally do? They click the fingers, right? When they are yawning. So that clicking of the fingers is what Hanumanji does when the Lord is yawning. So it can be anything at all. It can be just any kind of seva that we do for the Lord. It is very, very important for the Lord. It can be just anything. Even clicking fingers was so important to him. So he is to be behind the Lord all the time. Huh? Daytime, nighttime. Sita was like, Baba, it's nighttime, go back now. And he's like, no, 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 it is nighttime, I can't go. I'm at a seva all the time, right? He can yawn anytime. So like that, he was continuously in the Lord's seva all the time. Then we have the next one is Sakyam. Sakyam means friend. Sakha is friend. Who was Krishna's Sakha? Who was Krishna's Sakha? Can anyone tell me? Who was Krishna's friend? Yeah? No? Nobody knows? Sudama, Arjuna. Yes. Sudama was very, very poor, right? He didn't have any money at all. And Krishna was there. Now, this whole Bhagavad Gita episode took place in the battlefield, right? So that is where Krishna told him, right, about the Bhagavad Gita, how a person should live, why he should fight the war. He told about all of that there. And in the process, he saw the Lord's the complete expansion over there. Yeah. So he says, I thought you were just a normal human being, and I used to just call you by name, and I should just talk anyhow, I should just say anything to you. But I never knew you were the Lord, and I did such a big sin by doing all those things. Right? So he was so humble there. And Sudama, he was a very, very poor person, right? He didn't have anything at all with him. He didn't have a proper dhoti to wear, he didn't have any proper clothes at all, he didn't have enough food to eat. Yeah? Sudama was very, very skinny, right? Very, very bony person. Yeah. He was very, very thin. Why? Because he didn't have enough food to eat. Correct? Then when he goes to meet Krishna, what does he do? Now, when we go to meet somebody, do we go just like that? We take some gift for them, right? So when we take a gift, it can be anything. It can be fruits, it can be biscuits, it can be flowers, it can be anything, right? What did Sudama take for Krishna? He took, it's called flattened rice or poha. Okay. So he took poha and he tied it in a cloth and he took it when he went to meet Krishna. But he was so ashamed of giving it because he saw that Krishna has got so big kingdom and he's got so many servants, he's got so many people at his service, everything is there. And I'm such a poor person, yeah. And why will he accept this poha from me? Why will he accept that flattened rice from me, right? He was very ashamed to give it. So Krishna kept asking, what did you get for me? What did you get for me? He said, nothing, nothing, nothing. And he kept hiding. Finally, Krishna forcibly took it from him and he ate it all. Hai na? So Krishna is always merciful, whether it is rich, whether it's poor, he does not see all that. What he sees the service, he sees the emotions of a person. Right? And the last one is Atma Nivedan. Atma Nivedan is example is Bali Maharaj. Why is it Bali Maharaj? Because in that story of Bali Maharaj, what happens? This is the Vaman avatar, right? Where he says that I want in 3 steps, you'll have to give me in 3 steps whatever I ask for. That has to be given in 3 steps to me. I'll walk 3 steps, and wherever I walk, that much is my place. He says, right? Vaman. Then Bali Maharaj says, okay, fine. Vaman was a very small person, very small in height. Yeah, he looked very, very tiny. So the 3 small steps wouldn't be such a big deal for me to give to somebody, right? So he says, okay, fine, no problem. Go ahead. He says, what does Vaman do? He is ultimately the Lord, right? The Lord Himself. So one Lord here, one foot here, one foot there, and the entire universe is covered completely. And then he's like, now where do I keep my third foot here? Now what does Bali Maharaj do? He says, put it on my head. Can you see in the picture there? Yeah. Can you see that the Vaman has put his foot on the head? Yeah, of Bali Maharaj. The reason for that is the same. So what does all this tell us? That he is so much into devotional service of the Lord that he can just give anything. Now, by doing this, he gave away everything that he had with him, right? The Lord took everything from him. So because he took everything from him, did Bali Maharaj sit and cry over there and he says, no, you took everything from me. What kind of a Lord you are? I don't like you, this, that. No. He only wanted his devotional service. He did not want anything else from the Lord. है ना? So he gave everything to the Lord. He was ready to sacrifice everything. Correct? So that is how Bali Maharaj is an example of this Atma Nivedan. And Atma Nivedan is the last step where you give completely yourself to the Lord. Whatever you have, you sacrifice. And that is the last stage where you have nothing with yourself to lose at all. Yeah, everything is dedicated to the Lord. So that is how the Atma Nivedanam, you're sacrificing your own self to the Lord. So that is the last step. We cannot reach that step. But what can we do? What can we do? We can do Shravanam, right? We can do the first step of Bhakti Yoga. What is that? Shravanam. We can do the part of hearing, like we are doing all here now. We are listening, right? So that is Shravanam. Then what can we do? We can do Kirtanam. We can do Mala, right? We can do Mala. We can sing songs of the Lord. So we can do Aarti. So that ways we can do Kirtanam. We can do Smaranam. We can't do it to a very great extent of thinking 24 hours all the time, right, about the Lord. But then as much as possible we can do it. So while offering food to the Lord, we should remember that we are offering food to the Lord. So what he likes, what he doesn't like, we need to remember. Oh, no onion, no garlic, no coffee, tea. Yeah, you remember all of that. So we shouldn't give all that to the Lord as food. We should do arti every day, right? So and we should sing arti every day. We should do puja every day. So all of those things can be done, right? So whatever we can do from our end, we should do it. Even a little bit that is done, little bit also, God considers it as so much. Yeah. So when we do just one bit of it, 1% also, God takes it from his end, like as if we have done 50, 80%, and he accepts it. No matter what we do, he accepts it. Yeah, even little bit of seva that we do, he will accept it. So this is a very easy way to reach the Lord, right? So everyone who in this class who is doing the chanting here every day, at least one round, what are you doing? You're doing Shravanam by listening to yourself and Kirtanam by saying the mantra every day, right? Okay, so that is all about Bhakti Yoga. So when we are getting connected with the Lord through Bhakti, so that yoga, that connection with the Lord is called Bhakti Yoga. Okay, I think we'll go through all of them once quickly, and then we will go to the next part of it. Okay, first one is Shravanam, hearing. Second one is Kirtanam, singing or doing mala of the Lord, chanting. Then the third one is Smaranam, thinking about the Lord all the time. Okay, Pada Sevanam, that is rendering service to the lotus feet of the Lord. Then we have Archanam, where we are doing puja. Uh, yes, beta, who is it?
Ma'am, I had two doubts.
Yeah, let me finish with this first, then I'll take your doubt, okay?
Ma'am, I can show the. I've written them. Can I show them?
Beta, I am not able to read what you have written. So I will just finish with the list first, then I will take your doubt,
Okay,
okay?
ma'am.
All
Okay.
right. So the fifth step that we have is Archanam. Archanam is doing puja, okay? Then we have Vandanam. Vandanam is where we are offering prayers to the Lord, where we are praying to the Lord. Then we have Dasyam. So whatever we do to the Lord, for the Lord, it should be as if we are his servant. He is not our servant, right? Oh God, do one thing. I am praying to you right now, right? So what do you have to do for me? I have offered agarbatti to you. I have offered the lamp to you. Now come on, buy me a car. What? He's your servant? Huh? You by offering one agarbatti and offering one lamp, you have done such a great job that you're ordering him to buy you one car now or to buy you some things for you. He's your servant, is it? No, we are his servant, right? So we cannot order him. He has to order us, right? What to do and what not to do. But the Lord never orders us, he never forces us to love him. Can any of us ever force anybody to love us? Yes, when we want somebody to love us, can we force a person and say, no, you have to love me? How can you not love me? You have to do it. Can we force somebody? Similarly, even the Lord doesn't do it. We have to do it out of our own love and affection. Then the next one we have is Sakyam. We should treat him like a friend. And we should always make sure that we are carrying his thought with us all the time, right? So we can talk to him, right? If we are in any trouble or any other time also, constantly talking to the Lord like a friend, like we talk to our friends, we talk to him. I say, no, today I had a hard day, I don't know what to do, or I had a very good day today, I'm so happy today. So like we write a diary, we could talk to him in our mind, right? So we are treating him like a friend. But ultimately, we need to remember that he is the Lord and we cannot disrespect him in any way. We have to keep up the respect at every point of time. Okay, then the last one is Atma Nivedanam, where we completely surrender ourselves to the Lord. That is the last part of Bhakti Yoga. Now we have two verses that we need to learn. One is 9.22 and 9.26. Okay. Now before we go to that, let me see the messages. Okay. Anmay, what is your doubt, beta? What is it about Prahlad Maharaj that you have written here? Anmay?
Ma'am, when you ask the question,
Yes.
ma'am, I think in the, what do we say? The slide of, I think, the slide before the second last part.
Hmm.
Ma'am, I was just asking, is that correct?
Is that correct means?
Ma'am, like, is that like correct?
What is correct, beta? What is your
Ma'am, like,
question?
is my answer correct like that?
What is the answer that you have given here?
Ma'am, I'd given Prahlad Maharaj.
Okay, Prahlad Maharaj is an example of Smaranam. Yeah, he used to remember the Lord all the time. Can you see in the
Yes, ma'am.
slide there behind? Yeah.
Yes.
So that is when Prahlad Maharaj remembers the Lord all the time, right? He is chanting
ma'am.
continuously. Does he ever say, "Oh Lord, come and save me. My father is being so cruel to me. Come and save me. Come and help me." Does he say any of that? He doesn't do all of
Ma'am.
that, right? No intention behind praying, no intention behind chanting or smarana. All he's doing is only remembering the Lord. So that is why he's an example of smaranam. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now we have to come to the shloka part of it. Is everybody able to see the screen? Yeah. Are you able to see the Bhagavad Gita screen? Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Okay. We'll read the shloka first. This is BG means Bhagavad Gita. It is from chapter 9 and the number is 22. Shloka number 22. Okay. Now we'll read the shloka. You are on mute. Stay on mute and you read it at your end on mute. Okay. Don't unmute yourself. Okay. All right. I can hear somebody. Please mute yourself better. Nishant, I'll take your doubt a little later. Or you can put it on the chat box. Okay. All right. So the shloka says, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha pariupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham.
Right.
So what does the Lord say here? Ananyas chintayanto. Chinta means thinking. Ananyas, instead of thinking about anything else, he is only thinking about Mam, about me all the time. Yeah. So we read about this in the Bhakti Yoga also in the 9 steps, right? That's someone who is thinking about me all the time. That is Smaranam, thinking about me all the time. So ye janaha pari upasate, the ones who worship me all the time. What do? Tesham nitya bhiktanam. They are fixed in devotion. They are devotionally attached to me. They are trying to get connected to me, right? So yogakshemam vahamyam. So when by thinking about me all the time, what is the other person doing? They are trying to get connected with me. The Lord is saying, है ना? So the Lord is saying they are trying to get connected with me, which means what are they doing? They are doing yoga. Correct? What are they doing? Bhakti yoga. That is how they're trying to get connected to me, the Lord is saying. Right? So yoga kshemam vahamyaham. So what does the Lord say? Kshema means protection. He is protecting the devotees. And vahamyaham is he is carrying. What is he carrying? All the difficulties of the devotees. The Lord is making sure the devotee does not face so much of the difficulties. Right? Now in Prahlad Maharaj also the same thing happened, right? There were so many difficulties that Prahlad Maharaj was facing. But when he called out to the Lord appeared out of the pillar also. Do you think the Lord was there in the pillar? That pillar was man-made, right? It was not something natural. But still he came out of that pillar also. Why? Just because his devotee said that and then he wanted to prove that the devotee is not wrong at all. So that is why he came out from the pillar also, right? So the Lord can do anything to protect the devotee. So whatever is good for us, he will give us that, and whatever is not good for us, he will take it away from us, right? So um, you can take an example of the family again. Now, what happens in the family? What does the father do? If you ask for something that is unnecessary, will he buy it for you? Now you say, I want two, three cell phones. So he'll say, why do you want buy two, three cell phones? Even one phone is not required. You're going to school. Quietly go to school and come and keep your focus on studies. You need to attend classes. I will give you the phone. Attend and give the phone back to me, right? So everything is not to be given whatever the child is asking here, right? So the father knows what is best for the child and what is not good for the child, right? So similarly, now since we have told God, right? You remember how we came to this land? How did we come to the earth? Because we told the Lord, right? I don't want to stay with you. I want to stay independently and I want to go enjoy myself, right? So the Lord created this earth and he gave it to us and he said, okay, fine, stay here. And he gave us all these facilities, right? Now, similarly, the Lord is the Father and we are his children. So the Lord knows what is good for us and what is not good for us, right? So that is how the Lord is protecting us all the time. Okay. So I'll read the shloka one more time to you. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha pari upasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. ओके सो हमेशा भगवान का चिंतन करना चाहिए वी शुड ऑलवेज रिमेंबर एंड थिंक अबाउट द लॉर्ड so the ones who do that are getting connected with the Lord, so that means we are doing bhakti yoga, correct? So in the shloka also it is mentioned how bhakti yoga has to be done. Okay, now we have the next one here. It is 9.26, chapter number 9, shloka number 2.26. Okay, now let's read this one. It says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhakti uparadam ashnami pratyatmanaha. So what does the Lord say here? He says, Patram pushpam. Patram is a leaf, pushpam is a flower, phalam is the fruit, and toyam is water. He says, even if a person offers me any of these, I'll be happy. What do your parents do? When you make a small card for them on their birthday with one small stupid drawing also, they accept it happily, right? They don't say, oh, what is this stupid thing you're giving me? I don't want all this. Do they say that? No, your parents are very, very happy. Oh, my child has done such a great job and they're so, so happy. They go telling the whole world about it, right? This is just a human being who is being happy about it. Now, when we offer to the Lord, how much more happy is going to be, right? So he says, even if you give me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or just simple, plain simple water. Now tell me something. Is the water available to a rich person? Yes. Is the water available to a poor person? Yes. So that means water is available to everybody, right? So it does not matter whether anyone is rich or poor. Anybody can offer at least water to the Lord and start with the bhakti yoga there. Correct? The Lord will be happy. So in that ways, we can carry out our devotional service towards the Lord, right? Sorry. Okay. So the what can we offer to the Lord? Patram, that is leaf, pushpam, that is flower, phalam, fruit, toyam, water. So we can offer these minimum things also, and we can start doing our devotional service. We can now puja anyone can do. We don't need money for that, right? We can do puja with the minimum things. Just one diya also is good enough, right? So a poor person can also do. A rich person also can do it. So being poor or rich really doesn't matter here, correct? All that matters is our intention of what we are doing. Yeah. When you give something to your parents, what do they look at? They look at your intention. whether you're giving it lovingly or whether you are wanting something in return. Yeah. Suppose you give your parents a birthday card. Yeah, and then you say, okay, see, I gave you one birthday card, right? So now can you buy me this? Can you buy me that toy? That is not a good intention, right? So what are we doing? We are wanting something in return. That is why we are doing something. है ना? Now, Smera is being a good girl. है ना? Palaksi says, I'm also going to be a good girl. Shubhadeep and who else is there? Anmay. Everybody is saying, Samita is saying, I'm going to be a good child. Why? Because I want a smartwatch. Oh, so parents are like, okay, so that is why you're being a good child. Then to you won't get it. है ना? Then you will not get it. So what should we do? Without wanting anything in return, we have to be a good child, right? Similarly, when we are in devotion, that means we are in love with the Lord, right? So when we are in love with somebody, we don't expect anything in return. Na? So we can offer the minimum things. Yo me bhaktya prayachati, who offer even the least of the things in bhakti to me, tad aham bhakti uparidam. So tad aham means I personally accept the gift of the devotee. Now whatever we offer to the Lord is like a gift to the Lord, right? So he says, I will accept any gift from the devotee. Ashnami pratyatmanaha. So when someone is doing it with pure devotion, pure consciousness, I will definitely accept it. है ना? So if someone has any intentions, then there's not much sense in that, right? So that is why the Lord says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhakti uparidam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Okay, so when we do any of these, we should make sure that we are doing it without any intention. Okay, okay. So let's see. Did we miss out on anything else? When we offer something to the Lord, when we offer any food or anything to the Lord at all, does the Lord eat it? Yes? Does the Lord eat that? Suppose I'm offering what? Some sweet to the Lord. Okay. Say gulab jamun. I offered gulab jamun to the Lord. So does the Lord really eat gulab jamun? What does he do? What does he do? Yes. What does he do? Rasgulla. Okay. And we wants to offer rasgulla to the Lord. So so does the Lord eat rasgulla? No. Then what happens? Why are we offering to the Lord then? Why do we offer anything to the Lord then if the Lord is not going to eat only anything? As a kid, he loved rasgulla. How do you know that he loved rasgulla as a kid? For blessings. No, again, we are asking for something in return. Hai na? No, for bhog. It is the bhog that we are offering to the Lord, right? But then what happens? The Lord doesn't eat it with the hand. He doesn't pick up the rasgulla. Does he eat like that? No, he doesn't eat like that. Huh? Then what does he do? With okay, now we are taking this class that is online. Can you see me physically there? Yeah, can you touch my hand? You cannot, right? Similarly, Lord is eating it spiritually. Okay, now what is the example to understand this? Now we read two shlokas here, right? So when we read that shloka, now what is the next step that is going to happen? Yeah, your coordinator ma'am is going to say, everybody in the class is going to memorize the two shlokas that we did today. Okay, so everyone is going to memorize it, and then the next class she's going to ask you, did you memorize? Yes. Can somebody tell me what is the shloka? And then Arav says, okay, ma'am, this is the shloka of 9.26. Okay. Then ma'am says, so you told me the shloka, huh? So does it mean that it disappeared from the phone or from the book where it was, from where you learnt it? Yes. Does it disappear from the phone, the shloka? it didn't disappear. It is there on the phone or the book where you've learned it from, and it is there in your mind also, right? Similarly, when the Lord is eating something, He's spiritually eating it. So the food is there itself, but yes, spiritually He has eaten it, right? So, like the shloka is in your mind also, and it is in the book also, correct? So, similarly, the Lord is accepting all our devotional service. So, it is very, very much important for us to offer whatever we can do from our end. Okay, all right. Anybody has any doubts, you can ask me. Then I will go through these steps one more time. All right. Yeah, you can quickly ask me your doubts.
Ma'am, what did you mean by spiritually eating the food?
Just by looking at it, just by his glance, he accepts the food. He doesn't really eat it, right? He just takes a glance at it and he blesses the food. Yeah, because we would have used so many things from the
Ma'am,
nature, right? So that's why.
Yeah.
Yes. Any other
ma'am,
doubt? Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in the seventh slide, who were the four children?
Sorry, what are you saying, Anmay?
Ma'am, in the seventh slide, who were the four children?
Seventh slide.
Yes, ma'am.
Which
No,
one?
ma'am, the worders.
Which one?
Ma'am, the one. Yes, ma'am, this one. Ma'am, the third picture.
Hmm. Those would be the four Kumaras, I think. Okay. All
Ma'am,
right. Any other doubt?
and ma'am, what did you mean by clicking?
When we do this is called clicking the fingers. Yeah, you make sound with your fingers. Yes, this is called clicking the fingers. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay. Yes, beta.
I thought that
Hmm.
you said that spiritual eating means that if the Lord just glances at the food, so it means He's blessed it. So does that mean we can eat it afterwards?
Yes, because that becomes now prasadam, right? The Lord has accepted it, and now we eat it because it becomes prasadam. Now it becomes a very, very good, healthy food for us, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Next, Nishant.
Ma'am,
Hmm?
ma'am, in slide number 5, you gave Smaranam, right, ma'am? In the example, who
Huh?
is Shabari, ma'am? Who is Shabari? You gave an
Shab-
example.
Yes, Shabari is also a devotee of Lord Ram. Yeah, she was waiting and waiting for Lord Ram to come because she thinks that Lord Ram is definitely going to come to my heart, and that is why she keeps waiting. Now there are a lot of connections and stories behind it. The last birth, what happened, next birth, what will happen, like that. There are a lot of connections. So we'll not get into those details now. But she was waiting for Lord Ram to come to her house to visit her. So when the Lord comes, she offers fruits to the Lord. What does she do? She first eats it and checks if it is sour or sweet, and then she gives it to the Lord. Yeah. So even when she has tasted the fruits, still the Lord accepts it. Why? Because she does not want to give any sour fruits to the Lord. That's why. So even that food which is eaten by her, he still accepts it. So that is the mercy of Lord. Okay. All right. Who's next? Navika? Are you saying something but I cannot hear you?
Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Hare Krishna.
Ma'am, can you once again explain Atma Nivedan?
Atma Nivedanam. Atma Nivedanam is completely surrendering everything that we have to the Lord. Okay. So if you see here, this limb of devotion entails offering one's entire being to Bhagwan. So offering oneself completely to the Lord. That is the last stage. Okay. What we hear, what we see, what we think, everything is devoted to the Lord. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
And this is something which is very, very difficult for us to reach as a human being. It's not possible, it's not so easy for us. So what we can do is Smaranam, Kirtanam, Shravanam. So we can do those kind of easy steps. Okay?
ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Nishant, you have another question? Sit straight, beta. Nishant, do you have any other question? No? Navika, if you don't have a question, beta, please lower your hand. Okay, we'll go through the Bhakti Yoga steps one more time quickly. Okay? First one is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. That is the last step. Okay? So these are all the steps to reach the Lord. That means to get connected with the Lord. That means doing what? Yoga. What kind of yoga are we doing by doing all these steps? What yoga are we doing? Bhakti yoga. Yes, very good.
Bhakti yoga.
Yes.
Bhakti yoga.
Okay,
yoga.
okay.
Holy yoga. Bhakti
Self-
marga.
Everybody put your
Ma'am, you're on mute.
and put me also on mute, right? Okay, I'll read the shlokas one more time. You have to learn this, I think. So listen to them carefully, okay? Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha pari upasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. This is 9.22 and 9.26 is Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yo me Bhaktya Prayachati Tad Aham Bhakti Uparhridam Ashnami Pratyatmanaha. Okay, so you may have to learn these two shlokas that your coordinator ma'am will tell you. Okay, all right. You're sure, right? No one has any other doubts? Yeah. Okay, let's do with our task of what? What do we do at the end of the class? Before we finish the class, what do we do?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We chant Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
What do we say first before we start with the Mahamantra? What do we say? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Okay, okay. Before put your ma'am doesn't want me also to talk. She's saying end of the class. Come on, come on. Yeah. So we'll end the class here. Learn all your notes well. See what is written over there. Okay. Anybody else has any doubts? No, right? All right, beta.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe
Hare
Radhe
Krishna,
ma'am.
everyone. Hare Krishna, everyone. So I just want to tell you that put the tilak. Where is your tilak? You have attended tilak session, isn't it? So where is your tilak? Now don't say me that you have not tilak. I used it in the morning. Okay. Now it is just removed. So where is your tilak? Anmay, where is your tilak? I can see. Okay, if you have any doubt in tilak session, please go through the recordings and put the tilak. One round of chanting. Okay? Okay, Hare Krishna. We are good to go. See you soon.
Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Radhe
ma'am.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, ma'am. Radhe Radhe.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, ma'am.